Welcome to Galactic Grandmother Heart to Heart. My name is April, and my special guest today is Adele Good. Adele is a sacred site adventurer. She has traveled full time for the past 12 years to Bosnian pyramids, the Andes, Borneo, Zanzibar, and today she's coming to us from Mexico. Adele has a special connection to crystals, to Lumerian crystals specifically that she sources in Brazil. And she does a fun match game where she matches crystals with human guardians. And she also is a channel for Star Mother Amma, which we can see her statue in the background. So welcome so much, Adele. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, April. I'm thrilled to be here. And Star Mother Amma is too. She's very happy that you've invited me to do this.
I have chills on my legs, so I have no doubt that's the truth. Wow, where do we start? There's so many directions that we could talk about. Let's dive into the crystals, the Lemurian crystals. How did you ever get drawn to sourcing crystals?
Okay, that was never my intent. As someone who's traveled for 12 straight years now, carrying rocks around the world was not anything I ever planned or desired. And I fought it big time at the beginning. I was living in Brazil. It was 8 years ago. Living in Brazil, working in a very spiritual community. And a client wanted to go shopping in one of the nice stores, more of a gem shop than a crystal shop. So I went in with her and I bought one little crystal about the size of my pinky. I thought, I'd given all my crystals away when I left the States in 2014 and everything else that I got rid of. So I thought, oh, this one, it just called to me. Well, within a few weeks, I went back into that same shop and bought every Lemurian crystal they had, which was 44. Kind of interesting.
Wow.
And I was told, I was working with a psychic at the time, and she said, take photos and put them on Facebook and see if anybody connects with them energetically. They did. And before I knew it, I was shipping crystals all over the world, Australia, all over Europe, Estonia, Canada, United States. It was crazy. So I just kept it up. And I thought, well, this is a beautiful way to connect people. I play this little game you mentioned. And I was taught back then to do this. Basically, we get on a Zoom call like this, and the crystals are to my side. I've pre-picked them usually, and I hold one at a time. And as I'm holding it, and you may tune into this right away. I ask them to tell me what they're feeling, they're hearing, they're sensing. A lot of times there's energy movement in the body. That's very common. If they've had a previous injury, a lot of times that blocked energy will get released, so they'll feel better. The pain will be gone. So started with that, and then I was leaving Brazil, and I was guided to get more and take them with me. And I ended up getting lots more beautiful, beautiful crystals in Brazil initially. Then I found them in Bosnia, and I found them in Peru, and in Mexico. I'm very excited about these that I just found. They're lavender. I found blue ones in Brazil last year, and I have some of those being shipped right now back to the States. But look at the color of that. Absolutely beautiful lavender, just like the background of your set.
Yes, I love it. I did see those on Facebook and I was attracted to the lavender.
Yes. And so I've been asking Star Mother Amma, and you mentioned I've started channeling her just recently, asking her, are these, tell me about these. I should say the reason the crystals that I locate all over the world, I have some from Colombia as well. I'm guided by, I used to think it was Mother Mary. I was first told Mother Mary was the one telling me to go into the shops and buy crystals. And I was told, do not go in shop, don't go look for crystals. If you're walking down the street and you're guided into a shop, go into the shop and then look. And then I got permission each time I would pull crystals that I thought were pretty to start with. Then I would say, okay, Mother Mary, tell me this, and I do a little sort. And then I would get the price. As often I put some back, and sometimes I got more. So that's how I started buying them. And then I was taught from the very beginning, and I lived in Brazil near a sacred waterfall. So I would take the crystals with me to the waterfall. Before they even went to the house I was renting, we went to the waterfall straight from the shop. They got washed, blessed, bathed, and then I took them to a very special chapel and they were prayed over. And then I sprayed them with, you mentioned Bosnian pyramids, I sprayed them with water from the Blue Lake under the Bosnian pyramid system. So they
Ooh.
had very special process. Dr. Emoto has rated that water superior. So it's very high energy water. So that was the initial process 8 years ago. And that's basic. And then I matched people without them seeing the crystals. They may have seen 8 photos or 8 crystals on Facebook. And
Uh-huh.
then I would put the one, if they said, oh, I really like number two. Well, number two would be in the lineup, is what I call it, when we played the game, but they may not match with number two. They may match with a different one. And so I started doing that now that I'm in Mexico and I've collected quite a few. It's very hard to get these lavender crystals. They're called purple quartz. They come from Veracruz. It's the only source of them in the world from what I can find. And I got several batches while I've been here and it was challenging. I found a very kind 25-year-old Mexican man who had a friend that had a mine in Veracruz, and the cartel had to be paid off. They had to be,
Oh,
he was afraid to bring them in his car. It's 11 hours. He came here. He shipped them by post rather than brought them to get them safely out of the area. There were roadblocks. Some of the crystals went through several roadblocks to get here, as well as the cartel being taken care of. So kind of interesting. And I've been told, and I was told this in Brazil last year, I was there 4 months getting crystals, that most of what we think of as Lumerian crystals, the ones with the striations, and I should show that. Um, there's this is actually a lavender one, but there's striations. This is a Mexican, beautiful Mexican crystal, and it's actually also a scepter. I don't see them. Well, this is one, but they get bigger, and then the base is smaller. You see
oh,
that
okay.
shape?
Yeah,
That's called Sceptor, I think, or ER. But anyway, so the striations, this is what when we say we've got Lemurian crystals, oh,
right.
you can't in the light. They have the horizontal striations, occasionally have pyramid triangle shapes embedded into them in different ways. The purple ones have a lot of that in different forms, but that's codes of information. The light codes, the striations are light codes of information. So here in Mexico, I found these lavender ones, and they are very, very special. I mean, uh, I'm just going to say that. You can probably energetically check, but you can see this is a lavender one. The bigger they get, the less purple, but they're beautiful as well as very colorful. Some of them,
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah.
aren't as bright. The big ones are not as colorful. But anyway, so that was I started getting them. So I asked our mother Amma once I kind of realized I started asking, so why are these crystals any better than the crystals that you would go in the same shop that I bought mine in? And I was very clearly told because they're initiated, just like we were in ancient Lemuria. They go through
Oh,
and the process is the bathing and then the blessing, and then they were sprayed with the water, another blessing of a different type with the Bosnian water. So most people find they're very special and very powerful. And in the last year and a half, I've had more people contact me and say, my other crystals want one of your crystals. Because what we've learned over that year and a half is that these crystals are highly activated because of the process, now I know it wasn't Mother Mary. Cryon, Lee Carroll told me it's Star Mother Amma is blessing these. She's the one sending me into these shops, always has been. I just wasn't ready to understand that there was a Star Mother that would be working with me. And Mother Mary is I love to share Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus were all Lemurian. So
I
were the
know.
Mayans. She's just told me this last few weeks that the Mayans were also Lemurian. And they worked with these particular crystals, these purple ones, on their temples, which is
So
very
a
special.
lot of these, if not most of the crystals, were already processed, so to speak, initiated anciently, and then you're reinitiating them. Is that what's
Yes.
happening?
I hadn't thought of it, but yes, that would be exactly right. And what many of my people, what I call the guardians, the people who have these crystals become guardians of Lemuria. And they told me that years ago. And the guardians tell me they've actually physically held some of these crystals in past lives. That's pretty special. I bet your body's lighting up because that's pretty powerful information. And I find that it's hard to understand on a human level. So how can we have had a past life at Lake Titicaca and held this crystal, and then I'm finding it here in Mexico and sending it to someone in Omaha, Nebraska, or Australia or New Zealand. It's hard to understand, but so then these crystals, they're very highly activated, very charged, and not everybody matches with them. Everyone has energy sensation. Something happens. I haven't had anyone yet that hasn't that's open-minded, let me say that, that hasn't had different things happen with each crystal. What I have had is people at the end of that call who we both felt like they'd gotten their lessons, they'd gotten their messages, they'd gotten their healing. They didn't need to work further with these crystals. That doesn't happen very often, but occasionally. So kind of interesting.
In the quantum field, those crystals that were from an ancient civilization are just in resonance with our soul, our energy. And so we meet, because we're in resonance. We find each other.
Yes. The tuning fork concept. Yes.
Right.
That's beautiful. And I love that I get to be the conduit to help with that interaction, that meeting, because of my travels, because I'm open-minded to buying these crystals. And often I'm fighting them. I'm saying, I cannot carry another bag of crystals, another pound or whatever. If my luggage is overweight, and it's like, doesn't matter, Adele. Or financially, sometimes the bill is extremely high. And here in Mexico, I've invested a lot of zeros, and it's a little scary. But it's what I'm guided to do, and it's very clear from Star Mother Amma and everything else I'm feeling that I'm doing the right thing. This is my sole purpose in this lifetime, to help people.
Now, tell us about Star Mother Amma.
She's very special. I will show her rock. This is her energy in this rock. And if you'll, this is time before I forget. There's a statue. I'm actually house sitting in Mexico, and I was contacted months and months ago about it. It wasn't going to work out, and then it all came together at the last minute. I realized after I'd been here a few weeks that that beautiful statue in the garden here is Star Mother Amma. And I found this rock. I work with Cryon, Lee Carroll, and I know, April, you know who Cryon is. For 30 plus years, he's channeled, his name is Lee Carroll, and he channels Cryon. And I've worked with him for years. I knew I needed to get back to Lake Titicaca, and Cryon channeled directly to me. Yes, you need to go to Lake Titicaca, and you need to take a Lumerian crystal, and you need to plant it very high on one of the islands. So I had my order, so to speak. Fast forward, I had done so in January, and January 10th, I was there. And that's the day I found Star Mother Amma on this. And this is not painted. It is the actual stone. And I know, April, you found stones with beings in them and messages. And I knew she was special. I brought her back with some other rocks. I didn't realize how special till I really sat with her. And oh my goodness, she is very special. Lee Carroll, Cryon, had mentioned that a Star Mother was working with me with the crystals. And I was doing a past life regression for a client, and her Star Mother Amma came into this past life regression. And he's totally confirmed it all. Yes, Adele. And I was Star Mother's Amma's daughter. On my first lifetime on planet Earth was in Lemuria, in Mu, Hawaii. And I was her daughter, her first daughter.
Oh.
On Earth. Yeah, kind of exciting. So he totally confirmed all that. Yes, I'm to work with the crystals. Yes, Star Mother Amma is someone I'm to channel. And I call the work messages with Amma, messages from Amma. Yeah, it's just this year has been exponentially wild with all of that's come through this year. That's kind of how it all came together. And then, so now I'm doing channelings, and I have to share, it's a little uncomfortable to do a public channeling. In talking to myself through, I'm not talking, but it is my voice. It's very uncomfortable for me. So I haven't done very many public ones. I have the page, but I'm getting information. I'm doing it privately now for my group. The Guardians of Lemuria get a lot of private channelings. So there's more coming. And I've learned a lot about the Mayans this time while I've been in Mexico. about their past, their connection. And Cryon confirms that the Lemurians, when the island didn't sink, the waters rose, but it
Right.
took a long, long time. It didn't happen quickly in Hawaii. And from the Hawaiian Islands, they took the waterways came straight down to Peru, the whole west coast of the Americas.
Mhm.
So that's how Mount Shasta, all these different places they were here.
Star Mother Amma, she was one of the seers or wise women in Lemuria, or a
She was
priestess.
from Pleiades.
Uh-huh.
She was, they speak about the seven sisters. She was not one of the seven, and Cryon has said there were many. It wasn't just seven that came to, and basically, the way I understand it is they came to mate with people on Earth and grow the Lemurian population. So that's how they did it back then. I guess they felt like, and my whole feeling is right now that she is definitely behind what I'm working on. But the whole concept of Lemuria that was here was all about love and light and peace and joy and compassion and working with the land and spirituality and a feminine energy. And so the idea that that's coming back, I call it New Lemuria. It definitely makes sense why so many of us are called to all of this right now, to do this work, to work with the crystals, to look beyond what we're being told in the media. And I would
Oh,
like
yeah.
to share before I forget, I was guided by, now I know it was Star Mother Amma. I was writing the word Lemuria years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Lemuria. That's the traditional way it's spelled.
Right.
And I heard no, Lume. And I'm like, I argue. I don't know if you argue, but I argue sometimes it's like, it doesn't make sense. Lume, no, it's Lemu. Go look it up. So I went and looked it up. Lume, it's the root of light. It's the root
Oh.
word. Think of Lumeria or Lumerian
Mhm.
in French. The lights,
Mhm.
lumiere, all
Right.
those words are all about light. So I believe that the word Lumeria, Lumeria, was very consciously changed to take the light out of the word, the power. So I only spell it with Lum.
Oh,
Kind
that
of
would make sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
That came directly from, I didn't know it was Star Mother Alma because I hadn't met her yet, but years ago I heard it. I hear things through my right ear and I couldn't tell you if it's a male or female voice. I just know. When I was told to leave the United States, leave the United States. Okay. And within 3 months, I had sold everything and packed up and was leaving. I moved to Europe for the summer. And I don't live in the States at all anymore. I shouldn't say that. I don't have a house. So
Mhm.
I don't go back very often.
Adele, I know you've spent a lot of time by the Bosnian pyramids. Would you give us a little information about that?
I would love to. One of my favorite subjects in the world. The Bosnian pyramids were discovered by a wonderful man. He's Bosnian, but he was living in Houston, had a family business in Houston, named Dr. Sam Osmanagic. Dr. Samir in Bosnian, I call him Dr. Sam, and that's what most of us call him. And Dr. Sam was in Bosnia, a half hour out of Sarajevo, doing some work for a client, and he looked over and he saw this massive structure. Massive, massive structure covered by trees, roads, houses, farms, and there's a castle on top. And
Oh,
yes, very interesting. So he noticed it. He decided I'm going to come back and bring a team and spend some energy and do some scientific studies. And so a year later, he had done that. He'd brought scientists in from all over the world, including an Egyptologist who was there 3 weeks. And all of them concluded that this was a real pyramid. And the Egyptologist, I won't say the name, confirmed and told Giza, yes, and they're bigger than ours. And he made a statement saying it was bigger than Egypt's. And they immediately called him back to Egypt. And he was, of course, not, he was let go.
oh,
Of course. Of course, think about it. So that type of things don't get out. So then Dr. Sam, he was invited to be on CNN in 2006, a year after he'd done all this research proving he's a very bright man. He had studied Mayan history and he taught Mayan history at college level. So that was his fascination. So he knew a pyramid when he saw it. It's just one that was covered with vegetation, just like all the pyramids here in Mexico were covered with jungle. And the
Mhm.
same in Guatemala and in Peru. Machu Picchu was totally covered. So they're covered after thousands and thousands of years. So Dr. Sam had realized the Bosnian pyramids are 36,000 plus years old. That's been proven. But when he was on, so
Wow.
back in 2006, he was interviewed by CNN, talked about all of this. And the next day, every scientist cited in that interview was contacted privately and told to not speak of it again. Interesting. And the show was never seen again. Done, gone. So obviously, the powers that be didn't want that to be shared. So Dr. Sam has spent all of that time, 20 plus years, bringing the Bosnian pyramids into public awareness. And he's been brilliant because he created a foundation and he brings volunteers in. And I volunteered there a number of years, just for a week or two at a time. The Pyramid of the Sun there is 4 times the size of the pyramid, Great Pyramid in Egypt. And the Pyramid of the Moon isn't that big, but it's still much bigger than the Pyramid of Cheops, the big one in Egypt. It's hard to keep a big pyramid a secret, but they've done a good job. If anyone watching this Googles, are the Bosnian pyramids real? I bet most of your responses are going to be no, it's a hoax, it's all a lie. And I guarantee you it's not. There's 6 main pyramids there, 5 that he first worked with, and now they've acknowledged a 6th, all connected with sacred geometry, Fibonacci spiral, sacred water. There's water chambers underneath that were drilled. They're straight channels. They're not even a river underwater. They're channels with, I believe it's all formed concrete. I'll say why I can say that. Dr. Joseph Davidovich is a scientist. I think he's in Croatia. It's in one of those countries in that area, Eastern Europe. He tested, among many others, tested the what they thought were rocks on the side of the pyramid. Just like Egypt has
Blocks.
the big blocks. And so they tested some pieces and their comment was, where did this come from? They had no idea what it was because it's the hardest concrete we've ever, it's the older concrete gets, the harder it gets. And this was the hardest concrete they'd ever experienced. Many labs said that. And Joseph Davidovich confirmed that they definitely were contract and that so were the pyramids in Egypt. That's the part I like to share. So it's not just Bosnia that was made of concrete and I believe that explains the whole thing in Peru, why these Sacsayhuaman and all the in Machu Picchu, these stones were not carved by people. They make it sound like they were all carved and perfectly fit together, carved at the site where they were at the mine, at the quarry, which in Ollantaytambo in Peru, I've spent a lot of time in Peru. It's 2 miles from the quarry up high in the Andes, down this steep mountain, across a river, and straight up a cliff. It was let's say a 5-ton stone that was carved in the source and brought there. I just don't buy it. I think they formed them all at the sites. Makes a lot more sense. And I think they had tools that we would never have could imagine yet, but we will. Someday we'll remember all of that. So
Well,
Bosnia, I love Bosnia. So where I rent a house on the base of the largest pyramid of the sun, the largest pyramid on Earth. It's the pyramid of the sun. There's houses there, and I rent a house there when I'm there in the summers.
wow.
And yeah, there's a whole complex called the Ravni Park that is a teaching park. It's like I like to think of it. Dr. Sam there's stuff about Tesla there. There's Kathleen McGowan, who wrote all about Mary Magdalene. She's written The Expected One. She's done a lot of work with Mary Magdalene. Kathleen donated a beautiful, massive, it's huge labyrinth called the Rose Labyrinth, and she has a book about that. So there's all types of different types of people have donated things. A group in Croatia donated a spiral herb garden, and I actually one summer. My job was I'd go to Dr. Sam, and say, what can I do? I have a week open. And that week I said, I have a week open. What can I do to volunteer that would make a difference? And he said, that herb garden weeds needed to be taken out. I would jump at the chance. I love to garden and I don't own a house anymore, so I don't garden anymore. That's what I got to do. So there's 50 some installations is what they call them there. and they're pretty amazing. And each one has a different way of teaching something. Even the herb garden, there's banners of all the different herbs and where they came from and what they're used for. And he's done a beautiful job of documenting and helping people realize that for me, it's much more important site to go to than Machu Picchu or even here in Mexico to Teotihuacan because it's a learning space and people can learn why this is special, why these pyramids were built this way, what the energies. And then there's tunnels there, healing tunnels. There's chambers in there and go in and sit for healing and much more.
The chambers have been made like as part of the pyramid structures.
In Bosnia, in Visico, the little village where the pyramids are, there's a tunnel system under the whole village, under the river. They've seen bits and pieces of it. And because of the limitations of working on the Pyramid of the Sun, Dr. Sam the foundation's bought a lot of land, but the tunnels are actually, in this case, about a mile from the biggest pyramid on the planet, from the Pyramid of the Sun. But they go through the whole area. And so what Dr. Sam is doing is going through the tunnels to get to the underneath the pyramid because they want to allow him to do it differently. So people are there every summer taking dirt out of the tunnels. And it's fascinating. So the tunnels have chambers in them. Let me backtrack. They initially, it was like I would call it like a maze that led, I think it was probably some type of cleansing place where pilgrims that had come to do a pilgrimage to the pyramids, they would walk through there to help them get their energy prepared. I mean, this is speculation, but I've heard this from others. There's big stones, there's huge stones there that are megaliths that are inside the tunnel system. So there was this massive way, and I think it was open to the stars initially. We know it was. Then two different groups have come in and put different stones and some huge blocks. They filled it all back in so that you couldn't go in.
Oh.
And there's actually, I wasn't planning to share this today, so I didn't prepare it, but there's actually there's the runes, Runes, the language of rune.
Uh-huh.
You know, they say it's Nordic, but it's much older than that.
Right.
We know the pyramids are 36,000 years old, and the tunnels aren't that old, but they're very old. So there's runes, there's the language of rune, the symbols written on different stones inside the what is now the tunnels. So these tunnels were initially, just think of an open labyrinth, like we would see a garden labyrinth, something like that, but it was made with stone. And they had megaliths all through it. And then some civilization came in and covered that up. And that's what they're still digging out today. Miles of it. They've done 3 kilometers so far, but there's a lot. And it's a maze. So they'd go this way on one and then realize there's a block and they couldn't go through. Or there was water. The Blue Lake, I mentioned the Blue Lake under the Bosnian pyramid system. The Blue Lake would stop them from going certain directions. So yeah, it's very interesting. So it was all covered up and now it's being exposed again. The healing properties inside the Ravni tunnels, where people go in with, asthma problems and come out and they can breathe better. I do every time I go, I start out my visit the first week or so, I have a auric field. There's a place to do it right by the entrance to the tunnels. I have that measured. And then when I leave, I have it done again. And it's always much better. So I go for a month or 3 months at a time. And every day or every few days, I'm going in the tunnels. So I go in at the beginning and then I go at the end. I get my baseline and then I can see how much better. It's always improved.
And in those chambers, what does the energy feel like?
Powerful, very special. My favorite thing to do is go in and meditate. Go into the deep chambers. They're all lit. It's all lit. But to go in, it's very high energy. Have you heard of Bovis before? Do you know what Bovis scale is?
No.
Bovis is a measurement of air quality. Well, I'm condensing it. It's much more complicated than that. And if you're for your home to be at 10,000 is really good. That's a really good healing place. Most homes are in the 5,000 range.
Oh.
And in the tunnels, in the chambers, then there's some of them, they're huge rooms. So you'd walk through these tunnels and they opened into these huge chambers, not for living. They don't feel anyone ever lived in them. but they'd be 40,000 and some are 60,000.
Whoa.
The very high positive energy. There's really high negative ion content there. Maybe that's what it measures. I'm sorry, I can't remember. There's a lot of details that I hear about this. And then there's the Bovis, and then there's the Hertz, very high,
Uh-huh.
7.83. It's one of the highest. It's at I apologize. I wasn't prepared for all that, but very high. So it's a really safe place to go. Cell phones don't work inside the tunnels at all. No radiation is in there. So that's really good for us too. A lot of negative ions, which are wonderful for us.
Oh,
They're-
yes.
yeah, I take groups to Bosnia. I'm not this summer because I'm just there a few weeks and wanted to keep it. I'm going for the solstice. There's a big solstice event every June in Bosnia. The tunnels are constant. I think it's 52 degrees. So it's
Oh,
very
okay.
cool. So that's a great place to go and cool off for an hour or so.
You had mentioned that we might be able to play the crystal game,
Yes.
something along those lines with the crystals.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to play?
I think that would be fun.
Okay. So what we do, I actually picked a few crystals already, but we're just going to play it like I normally do with people. And this has just
Okay.
evolved. It's basically the same game it was 8 years ago. Different crystals. They've all been placed from back then. So what I did is I pulled 5 crystals just randomly, just kind of said, which crystals would April connect with? So I'm going to put my left palm over all 5, and I want you just to feel into it and ask your higher self the question, are these 5 the best 5 crystals for me to connect with today? Because we may move some around. This is just a start.
I'm getting a yes.
Perfect. Are there any others that you're to connect with today?
No.
Perfect. So my team guided me to the best ones for you today. So
Mhm.
now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some notes. I'm going to change the order. So they guide me which order, and usually the first one is usually takes a little bit longer to connect with, not very long. And it usually does some healing in your body. So we'll see. Not always, but generally people go, oh, that left shoulder that used to bother me, something's going on in there. So we'll just say, and I always say, does it hurt? And usually it's no, it's just I can just feel it. So it's like, oh, good, the cells are all moving
Uh,
around and it's being healed. We're moving energy. Oh, you're getting something already.
well, I already heard number two.
Oh, all right. Well, that's not the way the game goes,
Okay.
April.
All right.
So
I'll
take your
play it.
psychic mind and you tell them
Okay.
just
All
quit.
right. All right. I'm going to back off and play the
That's
game.
yes. And that does happen because our teams want to help us. But the game is really fun.
Okay.
And I haven't, I'm just going to leave them in the order they're in since that happened.
Okay.
But what
Yes.
I'm going to do, I'm going to pull number 1 and I'm actually going to put it in my left palm. You're not going to see it. Putting it in my left
Oh,
palm. And I want you to tell me what you see, feel, hear, sense, whatever, any of those things. Okay.
well, I'm telepathic. I'm hearing that it's not just for fun, but it's for inspiration. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. Yeah. So this crystal would help you with your inspiration, being
Mhm.
inspired. Is that right?
Yes.
Anything else?
No.
Does it have a specific message for you? How that would apply to
Uh,
you?
not at this time. I'm feeling a lot of uh, energy right up here in my forehead.
Okay. And that's the type of thing people feel. And then you're yawning. And there's yawning. Yawning's all about healing and acknowledging.
And
And you said for you, it's your connection to
well, for me, it's raising my frequency of my field.
that
Yeah.
makes total sense. And these are pretty powerful crystals, as you probably can sense just having me
Mhm.
hold it.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm holding it. I'm just the conduit. I'm not
Uh-huh.
thinking anything about I'm not sending you a message. I'm just holding the crystal in my left palm and letting you connect to it. So we set that intention at the beginning. I
Mhm.
should say that for those that don't quite get it, because it's like, how can that work? I have no idea. It's just energy.
Ooh.
Look at you. All right, I'm going to put this one down.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pick up number 2, which it's so funny that you heard number 2.
Hmm.
And I'm holding it in my left palm.
And I'm closing my eyes because I'm seeing a beautiful seashore with calm aqua water and white sand. And that for me is just heaven. That's my my happy place.
Totally agree with you.
And the word that comes to mind is relaxation and return to source and peacefulness.
Lovely. Do you feel anything in your body physically?
Yeah, the intense energy from the last one that was up in my forehead area is just dispersed, and my whole field just feels relaxed and calm.
Wonderful. So you think that's from the first one or the combination?
No, the second one.
Okay, wonderful. All right, I'm going to put that one down.
Okay.
I just kind of brush off the energy of that. And then I pick up the third one.
Hmm. Okay. Well, in this one, I'm seeing a mountain peak. Okay, and this one is for connecting to the elders. And I'm getting a feeling at the back of my skull on this one. And well, and yeah, my whole crown chakra's activated.
Is it a good feeling you were getting or not?
Yeah, yeah. Mostly at the back of my skull. Very tingly.
So would you say that's
And this is for frequency work, is what I heard.
hmm,
Hmm.
to raise the frequency of the user or
Working with others. It's a crystal that's has a job.
wonderful. So the others were more for fun and relaxation, but this one was a
This one
workhorse.
is a conduit working with frequency with the elders for, I suppose you could work on yourself, but it's mostly, I think, for other people.
And that's often the case. And I really like it when it's that as well as working on yourself so that people can justify it. And these actually can be a business expense if someone does energy work.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a way to that, it just feels really good to be able to use it for
Mhm.
self-work and to help clients, so to speak. All right, finish with this one.
Yes.
Beautiful. This is exactly how this goes. Okay, now I'm holding the fourth one, number 4.
What am I seeing here? A calm lake, a lake with the water in the lake is calm, and there's a field with wildflowers next to it. And it's a very rural, I would say it's probably down there in South America somewhere, but what is the feeling of this crystal? Uh, Connection with family. Are we talking about star family? No. Galactic family? No. Um, Human family. Okay, it's a conduit for familial love, I believe, and healing, specifically emotional work.
Wow. In our human families today,
Right.
like our,
And human family. Yeah.
that's something a lot of people could use right now, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot
A
of
lot of, I'm talking to a lot of people that are right now just they're not connected to their children, which for mothers can be very devastating.
yes, yes.
So this
Mm.
crystal is one that would help work with the energies between family members, heart to heart. Yeah, frequencies, healing frequencies.
As I look at heart to heart behind you,
Yes.
what you're all about.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then I'm going to put that one down and we're going to the fifth one.
Oh, this is galactic all the way. Let me see here. Yeah.
I love it.
This is galactic star family um, communication. That's what I'm hearing.
Meaning help people connect with their galactic family.
I think that definitely the person that is holding that is the guardian. It's their connection to their star family, their galactic histories, and I think it's more of a personal crystal rather than working with other people for your own channeling, for your own work.
Feels like one I need to work with right now. Thank you. Okay, so then that's the last, that's it. That's the five. Totally different crystals, you'll see in a minute, and totally different experiences. The
Yeah.
first two were along the line, inspiration. Yeah, it wasn't even, I was thinking it was more relaxing, but it was more inspirational. I'm going to show you each one now.
Oh,
So
okay.
this number one, it was a purple. I call them lavender Lemurians, and I'm showing
And
you
that was the
inspiration.
inspiration. Yeah.
Just a beautiful, maybe an inch and a quarter, inch and a half
Hmm.
size, small. These purple ones are fairly small, but they're powerful. I mean, you immediately got the word you were hearing, not just for inspiration. You heard the word inspiration right off, is
Right,
what I'm
right, right.
okay. Then the second one, which is interesting because you heard number two to begin with,
Was
um, relaxing.
relaxation.
April, what that's saying is you really need to slow down and relax. Are
Oh, I know
you
I do, right. I know I do, and I've got a vacation coming up soon. So,
wonderful? Oh, yes, you've got a really cool vacation coming
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Trees, a date with trees.
Please.
This is another lavender, and I'm going to show this. It's hard to tell unless I put a white crystal next to these that there is lavender in them. See,
Oh,
you,
yeah, yeah.
it's really hard in the lighting of when I hold them
Oh,
up. So you can see there's definitely
yeah,
lavender in there.
yeah.
Not nearly as dark as some of them that, the
Uh-huh.
smaller ones are just darker. I didn't say this. They're similar. They're the same color as amethyst, and they're
Uh-huh.
actually they're called amethyst quartz also, but they're not amethyst like we think of in a geode. The
Right,
beautiful Brazil. They have those here in Mexico, but they are definitely not from a geode. So
right.
this was number two,
Uh-huh.
and it's a beautiful big
Oh,
crystal.
look at all those striations. Yeah.
Yes, very clear striations and a lot going on inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's beings, faces of beings inside. Let's see if there. Oh, look, you can see two. Do you see? Almost looks like angels. One, there's a something, three. One coming this way to the,
Oh, I see. Yeah. Arms
there's
out,
that
maybe.
arm. Yes. And then there's one going that way, arms down.
I don't know.
Well, it's hard to see. And there's something else going on below it. So
Oh,
and
yeah.
that could be a character, someone standing. Do you see, like if that's the head and that's the back and
Right.
the feet? There's
Oh,
generally beings inside these crystals. So this one was number two, which was all about relaxation.
and
And
it's
the interesting thing, look at the pyramid up here. See,
uh-huh.
the face is triangular, but inside of the face, can you see that definite pyramid shape?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And that's extra coded information. This one's somewhat cloudy, but very, very active inside. The third one, and it's big. That's why this one compared to the first one, let me just show you. This is one and two.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
difference in size,
Yeah.
much larger. And then but the large ones just aren't as dark. And they're all formed by Mother Earth, so they're all perfect. This was the one you felt in the back of the skull. This is the third one. It's beautiful crystal.
What did I say about that? Because I
This
don't
was
even.
a mountain peak. You initially saw, and we'll look in a minute for a mountain peak. You said you saw a mountain peak, a connection to the elders, the feeling in the back of the skull where the crown activated. You felt tingly for frequency work, working
Oh,
with
yeah.
others. The conduit working with the frequency for elders, with frequency with the elders.
Right.
This was the conduit. So this was more for client work than personal
Right.
work, I
This
guess.
was connection to the elders for frequency work.
Yes. And so let's see if we see a mountain peak. There could be something in there. Female,
Oh,
dark hair.
I see a couple of mountain peaks.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Over in there. Yes, absolutely. And they're more pyramidical. They are mountain peak. Oh my gosh, there's the phantom, which is a reflection, definitely in the shape of a triangle in this one. There's, it's absolutely stunning, you can tell.
Oh, but I'm seeing all of the mountain peaks in there.
Yes, yes, lots of them. So you can see they're all different, but all
Mhm.
beautiful. The fourth one, I love that this one was in the mix. It's a danbarite. It's not a purple crystal. I did get it in Mexico. And let me tell you what it would calm when you see it, that'll make sense. Lake with waters, you felt like a field with wildflowers you saw. And he said it could be South America, connection with family, all about
Human family
um,
healing.
yes, love, healing, emotional work. You talked about mothers and their children. This is a danbarite, and danbarite doesn't show really well on this, but it's I think of it like a crown. It's white, clear, white and clear, and it has striations going up and down. And
Hmm.
when I first found it, I said to my team, "No, these aren't Lemurian. Adele, buy them." I'm like, okay, because they do have striations going this way also, different types of information. And the
Uh-huh.
fact that you connected the way you did just confirms. And I've had them in mixes. Quite a few people have connected with these, the guardians. This one unusually, and I'm surprised it's just the one that you connected with. Most of them don't have the dark, there's a little darkness in this one. Like here's another one. They look like big emeralds to me that are together. They're very, very shiny. This one is not, but the one it's in the sunlight, it's very shiny and beautiful, but there's no sunlight in the veranda where I am right now. So that's the third one, that our fourth one. That was the heart to heart.
Hmm.
And then the last one, I'm going to compare to this is number five compared to number two. Look at the difference in size.
That small one's the last one.
It's the last one. Yeah. Tiny, tiny. A lot of them are tiny like this and fabulous. It was the galactic all the way. Galactic star family communication
Personal work.
and like with the Guardians. And then connection to the stars, galactic history. Love that. I mean, this tiny little crystal, that's what you got from it. And it's purple too. It's hard. It's not as bright as the one, but you can definitely see that it's purple.
It's got a little bit in there.
And these are very, like I said, these are the ones the cartel had to be taken care of for me to get, which is crazy.
Oh.
These are the ones, a lot of these, the little ones, some of the bigger ones, but yeah, it was like, okay. And I was guided just to get them anyway. Like, okay. So they've been through a lot. And up close, let me just show you up close. Beautiful. It's clear. There's a lot of striations.
Uh-huh.
Something underneath my thumb about, in
Yeah.
that area. Oh, there could be three beings right there. Do you see them? All
Yeah.
in a row, like in a row, two or three.
Yeah.
Let me
See
see if
that?
I've got wisdom here real quick. My personal wisdom is a crystal that has a sage in it, and it named itself Wisdom. I used to use cards to get the names because I didn't know how to name a crystal. And I threw the card over the crystal Wisdom. And when I looked at the crystal, I took photos of it. There is a sage inside the crystal. It's this big,
Oh.
and it's a beautiful sage. So the name was Wisdom. This is one of the few, I've only probably bought five crystals in all these 8 years that was cut on the bottom. I don't like them if they're tooled, but
Uh-huh.
it had been cut. And I argued about that. No, I don't want to buy it. It's been cut. Adele, get this crystal. And look at the sage. Look at think of this as a gown, like a
Oh,
gown
yeah. Yeah,
robe.
I already saw it. It reminded me of some of the Native American women that wore the
Oh
long
my gosh.
robes. Yeah.
Yes, I had not thought of that. And there's actually a big hat at the top. See the face is about there. It's a white face,
Right,
white.
right.
It's an ancient sage. One time I had a client in New Hampshire that matched with several crystals and I sent them to her. And one was called Peace. And when she got it, she goes, Adele, contacts me. Did you see the dove in this one? No. You can't make this up. I did not see the dove in it. So, I mean, they have a life to them. So that was the game, basically.
And so I'm confirming that each one of the crystals has a specific frequency, energy, and purpose. So anyone that plays the game is going to find exactly what they need. So
Thank you for
think that
that.
I think that that's really wonderful. Yeah.
Very special. So at this point, and we're not going to do it now, but if we were to see which one of these you might want to work with, I would have you tune in. Oh, you can do that. Just tune in. Is there one of these that you'd want to work with going forward that would benefit you in your personal and or business?
The galactic, the little
The
number
little
five.
number five. And that's the one. So I will gift you number five. I will send
What?
it
Oh
to
my
you
God.
as a thank
Oh,
you.
I just got chills. Oh my gosh.
That was the one because you don't need it, right? But
No, no, I do.
you do
I'm,
need it.
I
Oh,
just,
yeah, this is
I
for your
just
work, not
had
for
my blue beans come in, who apparently are star family, and need to get to know them. It's so divine timing as it always is.
yes, always. Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
I love the blue
excited.
beans.
Ooh.
The blue
So,
ones are amazing. Yeah. Anyway, so all right. So I will put this
well,
aside
well,
for you.
oh, wow. Yeah. So that I think you're really doing a service because people that are really getting into this kind of frequency work, whether it's for themselves or with other people, it can be amplified and it can be really the energies channeled and crystals, as we know, are wonderful tools for spiritual work. So I really appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting out of my own way and listening, which is advice for everybody.
Right.
Because, like I said, I argue, and it's like, no, I don't want to carry rocks around with me all over the world. I'm off to Bosnia, and from there, my 70th birthday party, and it's a lot of stuff to be carrying
All
around. But I'm
right.
supposed to take them with me. I'll be doing matches in Europe. Thank you, thank you. I'm
Wonderful.
very blessed to be on this path and to be listening. So
Yes, yes.
grateful to have met you too.
Now, do you have any particular message personally or from Star Mother Amma that you would like to leave the audience with?
Ooh, let me just see what she'd like to say. Just take me a moment. I got the message. I'm just going to say it as me. I'm not going to channel her.
Yes, there you go.
Basically, yeah, yes. And it's what I was just saying. Just listen. Listen to your heart to heart. Do more heart to heart work and
Mhm.
listen and pay attention. And those that we resonate with are who we're supposed to be with. And when we don't resonate, keep going. Move, just take a different step. And yeah, just follow this path. We're on this beautiful path that if we can just get out of our own way and move forward, miracles happen all the time. And so yeah, I would encourage anyone watching us or that's in that obstacle of, which path do I take? Just close your eyes and take a deep breath and drink some water and just listen and you'll get the answer. That loud and clear. Wouldn't you agree, April?
Yes, follow your excitement.
Oh, beautiful way to say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell you just are glowing. You've got a wonderful, positive, happy energy, joyful energy.
Thank
And
you.
so you are definitely on your path. And I want to say, oh, thank you so much for this high frequency interview. I really appreciate you taking the time. And for my galactic Lumerian crystal, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get that baby.
My pleasure. And it's tiny, but that doesn't matter.
Well,
It's amazing, as you could tell.
I am so grateful for that. Such a wonderful gift.
Well, this is so fun. Oh, I'm so happy. Well, welcome to the Guardians.
Well, I
Well,
just love you, my dear.
and I love you too, April. So fun to have a new friend.
All
All
right,
right.
great.
Thanks. Bye, April.
Bye.